and talk to our man Kevin. Good morning, Kevin. How are you this fine day, sir?
Well, I learned a new phrase on your show today, traditional failed South American state. I love that. That was great. Gee, I kept repeating it over and over again. I'm putting it in there, Yeah.
What's on your mind, Bob?
The United States of America has had a lot of activity down there, covert activity, even before we had intelligence services. So, but, I had a question for you, Curt. Why, if Palestine has been allowed to incubate across the world stage like it has to galvanize this problem that we're all suffering right now, are we seeing Muslim migration worldwide? And why would someone like McMaster say that Islam is a religion of peace?
Well, I don't think there is not a logical answer to the question because it feels like the only way to get to those discussions is through a path that is illogical. Why anyone would say that Islam is a religion of peace, and that's not to say there aren't peaceful Muslims, because there are.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of the matter is the Quran is very clear. It's very explicit, and there is no ambiguity on the goals of the followers of Allah. It's not a mystery, and for anybody to say that book teaches anything, well, I mean, how did it begin? Islam spread out of the Middle East into Europe through military conquest.
We have even allowed our intelligence services to be overtaken by adherence to that religion.
But, Kevin, you heard people in the intelligence agencies saying, and you've heard, I can't remember the gentleman's name, and I'm going to kill myself right now, the gentleman that was a whistleblower at the at the NSA, who said the government made us fearful of profiling people. That this is the same thing happening to our police officers.
The profile, that's looking off to the side. If we have failed states around us, like Mexico the way it is and everything, this has been worked up. This is someone's plan.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it definitely, in a lot of ways, feels concerted, and that bothers me. But here, let me ask you this, Kevin.
This is the way you got to look at it. Trump has run up against the wall. Ann Coulter's trying to think she's bailing out the boat by saying, well, we have no wall. If she wants a safe place behind a wall, she needs to go to North Korea.
Right. Well, but I got to ask, I was thinking about this last night, Kevin, as I think about a lot of things that you talk about. You've got an otherworldly mind in the sense that you've seen things and done things and experienced things that few people ever have done. And, you're one of those people who can have an in-depth conversation on topics that few people can know more than one. But I started to think about this whole Clinton thing and everybody talking about how Clinton is connected to everybody and how Clinton, has gotten to where she's gotten. And then I started thinking about
degrees of separation when you get
right. But here's what I ask you, Kevin. For those things to be true, for the most part, and for the government to have this underlying deep state conspiracy against the people, it would require almost perfection in secrecy, would it not? Because
it has gotten easier for them with being able to compromise people. So
okay, all right, that's fair.
It has been made easy for them. When Clinton first got in there was a trade thing going on out on the West Coast. He bugged all the taxi cabs. He bugged all the hotel rooms. He brought in boy prostitutes, child prostitutes. He brought in girl prostitutes. I'll bet there was even dead girl prostitutes. They had everybody there, Curt. And this is the people. They've had this in mind. If she's worked for Jackson Stevens and Systematics or whatever it is, and she's done the legal work. When they got this software and everything, because it all started when they backdoored the banking software. They couldn't see who was moving the money, but they could see where the money was moving to and from as things were getting done around the world. And the more information you have, then you realize, well, actually, this is being done from over there. And so if you can bring together people who have been trading for centuries and give them technology like this, they can come up with a plot that'll just, knock your socks off, bud.
Well, but I guess what I'm saying is, for this all to work, we have to be completely in the dark. Now,
well, no, see, because those Muslims are more numerous than the sands, and the Israelis, are about the number of the stars, but, you have to see that we have been run down this rabbit hole, and everybody around the world is being stung by the same hornet's nest. And they're bringing it on to themselves as if there's a net necessity to do this. It has to be done. This is the way it is. It can't be done any other way.
Well, there is a feeling, Kevin.
This is what I look at, Kurt. This is what I look at. See, Trump can't go against the system because there's so many things against him. Now it's time for the people, because the only thing that the media can do is tell you what the majority of Americans think through the mouthpieces that are in Washington, D.C. But when the majority of Americans show up and they say, no, this is the way it is, and you are done, you've run your course and you're over, that's the only thing that can set this straight. And America has one opportunity. Before this stuff all goes down and everything, we need to take over D.C. And I'm sorry to say that. It's not that I'm against my country. I love my country. But the people that are not cool.
Right. Well, they're not. The people that are running our country aren't representative of the principles.
Oh no, running the government. Not running the government. They don't really run the country on it, Kurt.
Right. Yeah, and so I got to believe, like I said, the reason that I will follow you quite closely is that I agree with you. I feel like when you look at the problems in Syria or France or Germany or Venezuela, it feels like there is a constant behind all of that pushing.
Right.
Not necessarily pushing in the direction you want it to be pushed in, but it feels like, and I'll use his name because he's a global presence. It feels like Soros or somebody like Soros has their hand in all of it.
There are workers on many, many levels. I would not say Soros is a kingpin. He's a gopher.
All right, so who's bigger than Soros?
Well, there's bigger money out there. I mean, when Soros came to England, he went to school. He got work. He was made rich through the financial sector. Basically given operation money and said, get.
Right.
And so he can go anywhere he wants to do anything he wants, and the people don't rise up. Now, 100 years ago in America, if you had a man come here from someplace else and start doing what he's doing, it wouldn't take long.
No. Well, I mean, the things that we are allowed. Well, I got to tell you, all of this leads me to the continuing point that our media has become complicit, and Fox News has joined. I mean, they are doing everything they can do to further this agenda, and it feels to me like half of them are too stupid to understand that they're being used.
Yeah, they're running the same game plan like they did against W. Bush. The Al Gore. You're not a real elected president, or John Kerry. He was a real gentleman and a scholar. It's they have no, that's their game plan. They run with what they know, and they have been shown to be in collusion on so many levels, and the criminality goes past everything, even treason. And,
so let me ask you something. Everybody talks about the big banks this and the big banks that and the big banks on the world and all this stuff. So let's operate under the assumption you're 100% correct. What's next?
Well, let's see. We've already bailed out the banks, and they're the real estate and the investment, Wall Street. We bailed out Wall Street, and they're the insurance companies now. So we bailed out the insurance company. We pay our taxes. It goes to the Federal Reserve, goes to the Treasury. That's the bank, and they launder the drug money. What's left, Kurt? They own everything. That's what they want.
Well, that's what I'm asking. What's because it feels to me like the only way that they can continue on with their stranglehold is to get rid of Trump.
Right. And so it's come to the point they say, well, if there's too many people in the world, we can't control it. Look, you can't go to the airport and fly. If they're down there and they don't like you, you ain't going nowhere.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, that's all right. Okay, Kevin, listen, first off, it's always a pleasure to hear your voice on Monday night.
You give me great hope, Curt. You go far, brother.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. That's our boy Kevin. BarefootCavalry.com is his blog. Fascinating stuff. That is a brilliant man. Let's go out to the phones and grab Rob in New York. Rob, what's on your mind?